Imagine two brothers, both geniuses of sport and design, who built an empire from their mother's laundry room, only to become bitter enemies, dividing not only their company but their entire town. This is not the plot of a movie. This is the real-life origin story of Adidas, a brand that turned rivalry, rejection, and ruin into global reinvention. And it all started with a pair of shoes and a dream stitched in post-war Germany. In the small town of Herzogenaurach, Germany, the world was changing fast after World War I. Amidst the chaos, two brothers, Adi Dassler and Rudolf Dassler, started making shoes in their mother's laundry room in 1924. With no fancy machines, no investors, and little more than a burning passion for sport, they formed the Dassler Brothers Shoe Factory. Adi was the craftsman, meticulous, innovative, obsessed with quality and performance. Rudolf was the businessman, charismatic, persuasive, and bold. Together, they were unstoppable. They had one goal: to create the best athletic shoes the world had ever seen. Their big break came in 1936, when Adi convinced African-American track star Jesse Owens to wear their handmade spikes at the Berlin Olympics. Owens won 4 gold medals, and the Dassler shoes were propelled into global spotlight, ironically in front of Hitler, who hoped to showcase Aryan supremacy. From a dusty workshop to the world stage, this was only the beginning. The winds of World War II tore through the world, and the Dassler factory wasn't spared. Both brothers joined the Nazi Party, common at the time for survival, but growing tensions between them intensified under pressure. By 1948, personal grudges, family disputes, and business differences exploded. The brothers could no longer work together. In a dramatic split, they divided the company and the town. Adi stayed on one side of the river and founded a new company, Adidas, from Adi and Dassler. Rudolf moved across the river and started Puma. Herzogenaurach was torn apart. Schools, bakeries, even marriages took sides. People looked at your shoes before speaking to you. But while bitterness ran deep, Adi Dassler had something more powerful than hate: a relentless drive to innovate. Adi wasn't interested in slogans or flash. He believed the product should speak. Every Adidas shoe was designed with precision, for performance, not for show. In 1954, Adi changed football forever. The West German football team, underdogs in the World Cup final, wore Adidas boots with screw-in studs, giving them an advantage on the rain-soaked pitch. They beat the invincible Hungarians in what is still called the Miracle of Bern. Adidas wasn't just a shoe company, it was becoming a symbol of possibility. As the decades rolled on, Adidas expanded its reach. The iconic 3 stripes, originally a way to give shoes lateral stability, became a global fashion symbol. But it wasn't always smooth. In the 1980s and 90s, Adidas began to lose its way. Nike, with its Just Do It campaign and Michael Jordan partnership, exploded across the globe. Adidas, rooted in old-school European traditions, struggled to connect with a new, fast-changing generation. By the mid-1990s, the once dominant Adidas was faltering, seen as your father's sneaker brand. But here's the lesson in the Adidas story: true giants may stumble, but they never stay down. In the early 2000s, Adidas began its most daring phase: reinvention. They embraced their roots in sport while diving headfirst into music, fashion, and street culture. Collaborations with designers like Yohji Yamamoto, Y3, artists like Kanye West, Yeezy, and pop icons like Beyoncé and Pharrell transformed the brand from athletic to aspirational. Adidas wasn't just worn by runners. It was now worn by rappers, designers, and revolutionaries. The 3 stripes became a global lifestyle statement. The company also invested heavily in innovation, introducing cutting-edge technologies like boost cushioning and prime knit materials. These weren't just gimmicks. They were game changers in both performance and sustainability. And in a powerful full-circle moment, Adidas even worked with Puma to bring the families together decades after Adi and Rudolph's death. In 2009, employees from both companies played a symbolic football match to end the rivalry. The lesson? Even the deepest wounds can heal. In recent years, Adidas has leaned into sustainability, launching shoes made from ocean plastic, with Parley for the oceans, and committing to a future without virgin polyester. Their slogan evolved to "Impossible is nothing," a reminder of their Olympic legacy and underdog spirit. Adidas is no longer just a shoe company. It's a movement that says, your past does not define you. A movement that proves, from rivalry can come reinvention. A movement that reminds, greatness isn't born. It's stitched, step by step, with grit. So the next time you see those 3 stripes, remember what they stand for. A young shoemaker who believed he could change the world with his hands. A company that rose, fell, and rose again. A story born in a laundry room, and now lived on streets, stages, and stadiums across the planet. In a world full of shortcuts and slogans, Adidas chose the long road, built on craft, conflict, and comeback. Whatever you're building, be it a dream, a business, or a better version of yourself, remember, every giant started with a single step. Lace up and keep going. Impossible is nothing.